What's up, guys? This is Ray with Zoro TCG Vault. Welcome to the first video of this channel. We're going to be kicking it off with a tier list. We're going to be ranking every set from the One Piece TCG based on current investment opportunity. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and jump in. At the end of this video too, just as a caveat, I'm going to give you a couple of rules I follow when buying singles. So we'll save that for the end. But for now, we're going to be covering the One Piece TCG sets based on current investment opportunity. This channel is going to be mostly about investing and collecting, not so much playing the game. So just FYI there. You'll see I created this custom spreadsheet here. I basically manually went in and calculated all of this. So I pulled the current sealed box price for each set from TCG Player. And then I went in and added up the top 10 cards from each set to give you this total value. And basically column D is a value to box ratio. So you're taking that top 10 card value and dividing it by the box price. So the higher the number, the better here. And then lastly, reprint risk, low, medium, high. This is just for extra context. Do with this information as you will. This is kind of subject to opinion as well. Like I personally think they're not going to reprint OP01 through OP08 just because they're older. And even if they reprint something like OP13 with a high risk, I do think that supply will get absorbed. So not a huge concern there, but this is just for extra context. Now, you will see in the green, we have OP09, OP13, and OP14. Those are the big three right now in terms of value to box ratio. The next three after that is going to be in yellow: PRBO1, EBO2, OP11, and then the next three we're working with OP05, OP12, and PRBO2. So those are like the top 9. We'll shift things around a little bit. I'll throw in some personal opinions into the mix so that it's not just a boring straight up ranking based on math in terms of these numbers. But this specific column, value to box ratio, will play a huge part in our rankings. So let's jump right in. None of this is financial advice. Kicking it off with OP01, we're throwing this in S tier. You will see that the value to box ratio of OP01, blue bottom and white bottom, is pretty low, but I separate these personally because they were, this was the first set in One Piece. So it exists in a world of its own. So you look at it from purely a sealed box investment perspective. And I do think the blue bottom will get to 10K plus eventually. So the sky's really the limit just because it's the first set. So it's kind of in a world of its own. We just leave it in S tier until it gets to like some ridiculous price point. Next up, OP02. This is going straight into D tier along with OP03 and OP04. We're gonna run through those three pretty quickly just because the value to box ratio for all of those sets are single digit. There is an ace manga in OP02, which is pretty cool. So you could argue this is C tier, but we're gonna leave all these in D tier right now. The current sealed box price for all three of these has gone up quite a bit. So if you were early, congrats on your 2, 3, 4x, whatever it is. But the prices of these are just high because they're old and supply is low. So it's up to you if you want to invest. But in terms of a current investment opportunity, I'm going to keep all those in D tier. Now, moving on to OP05. Now things are heating up a little bit. So I'm going to chuck this in A tier. Mainly because of current investment opportunity. Like there's consistent sales of this over 1,000 now. So you've kind of missed the boat in terms of investing in this box when it was under $500. Top 10 card market value is still crazy, over 20K. And that produces a value to box ratio of around 20. So still an excellent investment, but it's kind of gotten, kind of went on a huge run, so not S tier investment at the moment. We will take a look real quick at the cards in OP05 just because I think they look awesome. The mangas are crazy. The SPs are crazy. I own a bunch of the SPs. Actually don't own a manga from this set or the Otis Sig. But taking a look here, Luffy Gear 5 manga, Otis Sig, Law manga, Kid manga. Just to pull the specific manga you want, you would have to rip an astronomical number of cases. If we're going off the assumption that you pull a manga in 1 out of every 4 cases, then it could take you a dozen or more cases to get the manga that you want. And then the SPs are cool. Crazy good looking alt art here that's like pushing, holy crap, this is at like 250, pushing 300 now. But Nami SP, I think this is climbing over 500. Listings are drying up on all of these because it is an older set. This is the first anniversary set they released. This Enel SP, I've seen the whole show, so for those of you that have seen the Skypiea arc, you'll know how cool of a character Enel is. And he has the potential to play a role later on in the story in the years to come, so we're sitting on that. But definitely a cool looking card. All the artwork, I'm a big fan of the pattern background artwork, or kaleidoscope, whatever the nicknames that are floating around out there are. I'm a huge fan of this art style. Cool Zoro Juro alt art as well, and then the same artwork from the Otis Sig and this Luffy alt art. So great set. Moving on. OP06, Wings of the Captain. I'm gonna chuck this in C tier. Take a look at the value to box ratio. It's 11.4, so we're cracking the single digit threshold there. It's just popping up over 10. Current box price is $339, pretty low. It's not a deep set, but the top chase card is fantastic. So you have the Zoro manga. This is my favorite manga in the card game, and I do own it, so kind of shilling my own cards, but this is the major chase card. We'll see this, continue to go up, in my opinion. First Zoro manga, great artwork, nothing much else to say there. Cool SPs in this set, cool treasure rare, great Zoro alt art here, but it's not too deep. Like, it falls off basically after this Yamato leader. No one really wants a Big Mom SP or a Borsalino SP. Supply will dry up because it is an older set, but it's not too deep to justify bumping this up to B. So we're gonna leave it in C. Moving on to EB01. Pretty sure this is gonna be D tier just because of how ridiculous the current sealed box price is. So yeah, not bagging on this set, but it's just gone up so much that at this current price, it's not a great investment, in my opinion. Top 10 card market value, low 3K range there. Value to box ratio 3.6. Enough said, we don't even have to look at the cards. Moving on to OP07, 10.5 I'm seeing here. 320 sealed box price. I'll squeeze this into C, but let me look at the cards real quick and then I'll decide if I'm gonna throw this into D tier. 500 years in the future. It's got the Boa manga and the Onami SP. Those are two great chase cards. You got the Law treasure rare too as well. I like this Doflamingo SP. And you got the Boa parallel here. Luffy parallel. Kid SP looks pretty cool, but it kind of falls off after that. So this does deserve to not be in D tier, in my opinion. We'll leave that in C. Two Legends. Current investment opportunity is going to be D tier. I don't understand how 222, how this is like more expensive than OP12 at the moment. Value to box ratio, single digit as well. Cool SPs in this set, but it's just not deep. And, the manga is Rayleigh, so there's no hype or nothing like huge to chase. So I don't see this box price like doing another 2x anytime soon. Could be wrong, who knows, but yeah, not a big chase here in the manga. Cool SPs, Ace and Bonnie SP. These two go super hard. Treasure rare is actually very valuable, so another good chase. But all the chases are like, a couple $100. So we'll leave that in D tier. PRB01, I'm gonna chuck this into A tier. 23.5 for the value to box ratio. It is in our 4th, 5th, and 6th slot. I think 23.5 puts it in number 6 position. Around a 20K top 10 card market value. That is because of the God Pack and all the manga reprints. Current sealed box price is $850, still under 1,000. So that's why I'm leaving it in A tier. If it gets over 1,000, I might have to drop it down to B tier for current investment opportunity, but we'll leave that in A tier for now. Limited print run, great set. It belongs in A tier. Moving on to OP09. 625 current sealed box price. I mean, if you can get this under 1,000, if you can get this around 500, I feel like we're just in an accumulation stage for this. It's gonna really pop off and catch up to OP05, in my opinion, pretty soon. Top 10 card market value, 22.2K, 35.5 value to box ratio. There is a medium reprint risk, but if this gets reprinted, supply will get absorbed. I don't see it being reprinted. Auto S tier for me, the deepest set potentially in One Piece. My personal favorite set in terms of all of the cards together. OP13, you know, is gonna be the strongest. We'll eventually throw that in S tier up here, but let's take a look at the cards just because they look so good. Where are we at? Emperor's in the New World. So there's 5 mangas in here. So think about this. If it takes 4 cases to pull a manga and you want specifically the Shanks manga, you might have to rip 4, 8, 12, 16, 20 cases plus just to get the Shanks manga. I think the individual mangas in this set are extremely underrated. Obviously the Goldie Roger card is gone to the moon, so the ship sailed on that, and that'll probably keep going up too. Those are for huge players, but like this Luffy, the Shanks, Blackbeard, her Teach, and Buggy, these I feel like are super rare and deserve to go up more than where they're at right now. Again, not financial advice. And the SPs are crazy. You have all these wanted posters as well. So to pull the specific wanted poster or SP, again, is going to be very tough. It's going to take a lot of cases. This set is so deep. After all these incredible SPs, you come down to the TR. The treasure rare is Zoro, which is great. This is pushing 100 now. The Goldie Roger alt art has the same artwork from this Goldie Roger manga card. Another great looking card. Cool looking leader, Nico Robin. Same with Luffy alt art, and that's just the first page. So this set keeps going, but in terms of just overall mangas and SPs, this might be my favorite set. Moving on to, so again, OP09, like if you can get it under 500 or under 600, my opinion, go for it. Moving on to OP10 D tier, Royal Blood. Really don't like this set. What's the current value to box ratio? Yeah, it's under 10. We don't even have to look at it. Well, let's move on to EBO2, 560 per box, 15.9K top 10 market value, top 10 card market value. So that puts it at a 28.4. Again, it's kind of in a similar position as OP09, but top 10 cards are just a little bit lower, like around 25% lower. So for that reason, I'm gonna throw this into A tier at the moment. And then let's keep it pushing with OP11. I'm just gonna throw this in S tier. This is kind of more opinionated. This probably deserves to be an A tier, but let's look at some math here. 27.1 value to box ratio, incredibly high. You know, 11.4K top 10 card market value. I think the ceiling though on this is like still pretty high just because of the silver and gold Luffy SPs. And the box is only 420 still. Decent SPs as well. Let's take a quick look. Like, I'm surprised this isn't pushing $500-600 per booster box. We're still chilling at like 400, low 400s. So I do think it's a good pickup at the moment. Yeah, these two cards are incredible chases that will drive the long-term value of this booster box up, in my opinion. Luffy Taro SP. These are cool SPs. Gear 2, event manga. I have a few of these Shirahoshi SPs. They look incredible in person. Like this gold foiling, I think really makes it stand out amongst all of the SPs. Like my favorite two are probably Luffy and Shirahoshi. The Stussy one is cool too. And then Sanji, big character, Shanks, big character. The Rayleigh's lagging behind as per usual, but also a Luffy manga in this set. So not incredibly deep, but the chases are crazy. So for now, we're gonna leave that in S tier. Debatable, could be A tier. It's really subject to your opinion, whether or not you think those silver and gold Luffy SPs are just gonna keep going up or not. Moving on to OP12, this is gonna go in B tier, our first B tier. I do believe this set is low in terms of current sealed box price, $215. It's lower than OP10, lower than OP08. And I did pull these numbers on January 21st. Today's the 23rd, so things could have shifted a little bit, but it's so surprising to me that this is less than those two other sets. Not incredibly deep, 4.9K, top 10 card market value. There is a gold and silver Blackbeard SP. So these are two good chases. Bonnie manga, decent chase. The SPs in this set, I am a huge fan of. A lot of people don't like them, but I think it's a good strategy to collect all of them and sell them as like a collector set. So you pick off the Lim, Yasop, Tashigi, Kuzan, Ace, and Zoro, put them together. I think it's just a cool like set of SPs to collect. And then the event manga rares are very cool. This card is very fun to say. Demon Aura, 9 sword style, Ashura, blades drawn, dead man's game. Very cool scene from the show, if you've seen the Wano arc. And what else do I want to say about this set? It's not incredibly deep, just cool SPs, playable Kuma cards, and yeah. So I'm gonna leave that in B tier. Cases are pretty cheap right now. We're looking at 2.5K, so decent investment. Moving on, Pure BO2. I think this is gonna go in B tier as well. Let me take another look. It might go in A tier. 16.1. Yeah, it's in the 9th slot in terms of the top 9, so I'm gonna leave that in B tier. 335 is still pretty low in my opinion for a PRB set. Very low printed, decent top 10 card market value. So kind of middle of the road in my opinion. We'll leave that in B tier. And then where are we at? OP13, auto S tier. There's not much to say here. Top 10 card market value is over 30K. And the current sealed box price is still like half of OP05. So cracked out, value to box ratio 57. High reprint risk, don't think that matters. There is one little asterisk, I will say, with this set. You know, when you're looking at the top 10 card market value, it can be inflated because of how many mangas there are. So I do think a more fair assessment of this set would be to like take the top manga chase plus the top 2 SPs. Like if I had another column, instead of top 10 card market value, you take like the top manga plus the top 2 SPs or all the SPs, and that gives you a more kind of accurate value to box ratio, because you're not gonna pull, like the pull rates are very difficult on the mangas. So just adding them up and saying that, you know, here's the top 10 card market value is a little bit unfair. But this set is just still so deep. It's S tier, potentially above 09, just because after the 6 mangas, 3 of them being red, after the 2 SP Shanks, silver and gold, after the wanted cards, like the top wanted Ace Arata, and Luffy SP, you have a Demon God pack, which is insane in itself. Ace SP, great character. You have this Luffy parallel along with the Sabo and Ace parallel that mirror the manga artwork. Another event manga, more wanted posters. I mean, Luffy treasure rare, crazy deep. The first 2 pages are insane. So auto S tier, as long as this set is under 1,000, I think you just accumulate it. But that's my personal opinion, not financial advice. And let's wrap it up with OP14. So I'm actually gonna throw this into A or S. I think I'm gonna chuck it into S for now as a current investment opportunity. That could be a little aggressive, but just looking at the value to box ratio, it's in the top 3. So kind of just gonna automatically throw it up there. Top 10 card market value. This is where like this number might be inflated. So I do think this number 36.3 will come down just because the set is so new. I do feel like the top 10 card market value is inflated, but I mean, let's take a look at the cards. People are buying them consistently. Like the top 2 SPs are consistently going for 1,000 plus. Zoro and Hancock here. Plus you got a gold and silver buggy SP. You have a Mihawk manga. You have this Boa card here. You have a lot of SPs, so pretty deep. Very good art. I did pull this Weevil card from a blister pack from Target. The art looks sick, but somehow there's like freaking 70 listings of this card already. And it's not a big character, so 54 listings. So that's like kind of the least or the worst SP in the set right now. Second page, some cool alt arts. But in terms of current investment opportunity, the box is I think it's like 250 or 240 now, actually, a couple days later after writing these numbers down. So that would actually drive this number up maybe even a little bit higher. So I do think it's a good pickup in the low 200s, you know, add a couple to the portfolio and let it ride. It might eventually come back down to A, B tier, but that's gonna do it for these, for the sets, and we'll get into my card rules next for buying singles. But OP01, OP09, OP11, OP13, OP14, good opportunities right now. Obviously OP01, only if you have the budget, but OP09, you know, OP13, they're both around 500. I can't see them like going lower than that. Going lower than like 500 or 600. They might dip a little bit more, but they're gonna get eaten up. People are gonna want these. So I do think they will retain long-term value. And then 11 is more of a risky S tier in the current environment. And then same with 14. So depending on your risk tolerance, go for 11 and 14 if you can get them cheap. 9 and 13 are locks for long-term value. And then OP01, very safe as well, but only get in if you have the budget. That's gonna do it. Now let's talk about singles really quickly and we'll wrap up the video. I do apply 2 rules when I'm looking for a single. First rule is I like 4 card types. I like mangas, SPs, treasure rares, and promos. I only go after those cards. And then the second rule that I layer on to that filter is characters. So there's 8 characters in my opinion that are the big 8. This is a poll that was done a few years ago, I think, and I do think the top 10 is decent here. I did ditch 2 of them to give you my personal top 8. So I took out Sabo and I took out Carrot, and then you have these remaining characters. The big 3 are obviously Luffy, Zoro, and Nami if you've seen the show. And then after the big 3, if you're gonna add on 5 more to round out that top 8, those 5 would be Robin, Hancock, Ace, Sanji, and Law. Now, it's all subjective. whether or not like what order you want to rank those in, but the market is telling us that Boa for some reason is potentially like a top 3 character, which I don't really agree with because she's doesn't have as much screen time in the show as pretty much any of the other character in the top 8, other than maybe Ace. She has more screen time than, but it's a waifu character, so it's gonna be a chase card. The market's shown its hand with that, so I think you go after Luffy, Zoro, Nami, Hancock, and then Sanji, Robin, Law, and Ace. So you apply those 2 filters, you're usually making a good investment. You can go after, you know, random characters. You can speculate like Monkey D. Dragon. He's going to show up later in the show. He's Luffy's dad. You could have all these reasons for, you know, making an investment in a character like that. I can totally see that. But just do your own research and have your own thesis when you're navigating outside of those 2 filters that I just talked about. So that's going to do it. Again, for building your own portfolio, you can start off with 50% singles, 50% sealed product. It's really up to you. If you want to just play it safe and not have to manage all these individual cards, just go with sealed product. If you're a huge fan of the artwork, potentially if you play the game, if you like collecting, go with more singles. It's all about your personal preference. For me, I like a 50-50 split. But that's all I got for this video. My name is Ray. This has been our first video with Zoro TCG Vault. I have a lot of other content ideas planned to come, but leave a comment. Let me know what you want to see in the future. Drop a like, subscribe, and let's build this channel up to 1K this year. That's the first goal. Once we get there, I'll start doing giveaways and who knows what else. But thank you so much. Stay safe out there. Have a good one. Peace.